For this video, we're going to be discussing polynomial division. So polynomial division is something we need to do because not every polynomial can be factored, and sometimes we need to simplify, and polynomial division is our method for that. But let's start by reviewing how to divide a polynomial by a monomial. So if I wanted to divide 18x cubed plus 54x squared plus 27x minus 6 all divided by 9x, what I would do is I would just divide each one of these terms by our divisor, 9x. So I would just take and I would divide each one of them. If I was to work with these one by one, 18x cubed divided by 9x, 18 divided by 9 is 2, x cubed divided by x is x squared, 54 divided by 9 is 6, and x squared divided by x is x. 27 divided by 9 is 3, and x divided by x, these x's cancel each other out. And then 6 divided by 9x, well, 6 divided by 9 doesn't divide evenly, but it can be reduced. 6 divided by 9 is 2/3. And since there's no x up here, I have to leave this x alone in the bottom, so it's 2x squared plus 6x plus 3 minus 2 over 3x. Okay, so that's how we divide a polynomial by a monomial. Monomial meaning one term, polynomial meaning multiple terms. But what if this was not a monomial? What if it was another polynomial? Or a binomial meaning two terms? So there are two methods of doing this. Okay, if I want to do p cubed plus 11p squared plus 24p minus 20 all divided by p plus 7, there are two methods. There is long division and there is synthetic division. And they both have their pros and cons that we'll discuss later, but we need to learn how to do both methods. So we're going to start with long division. So long division is just like doing long division when you were in like elementary school. Like if you were to do 18 divided by 6. 18 divided by 6 is a bad one. Actually, that's just a bad example in general. What if we did 54 divided by 3, right? So if we did 54 divided by 3, we'd go, okay, how many times does 3 go into 4? It goes in one time. 1 times 3 is 3, and we subtract. Now we've got a 2. Bring down our 4. 3 goes into 24 8 times, and 8 times 3 is 24. 24 minus 24 is 0. Okay, so what did we do here? We divided the first term by the first term. Okay, and that got us this. Then we multiplied this result by this term. Now the only difference is there's going to be two terms here in the problems we're going to do. Then we subtracted, and then we repeated the whole process. That's what we're going to be doing to do long division. Okay, so something else, we'll get there. Okay, so let's take a look at a problem. Okay, so this is the problem we're doing. So let's work our way through. The first step, divide the first term of the numerator by the first term in the denominator. Okay, so we're doing p cubed, so first term, first term. P cubed divided by p squared. Then we're going to multiply. Okay, so p squared times p is p cubed. And I'm lining them up over the term with the same exponent. P squared times 7 is 7p squared. So I divided, I multiplied, now I need to subtract. Okay, and when I do that, the first terms cancel out. That should always happen. And then if I look over here, 11 minus 7 is 4p squared. I'm going to bring down the rest of this stuff. 24p minus 20. And now I'm going to repeat. So I'm going to divide first term by first term. 4p squared divided by p is 4p. Now I'm going to multiply. Well, I'm going to put a plus sign here because that's positive. Now I'm going to multiply. 4p times p, 4p squared. 4p times 7, 28p Okay, so I divided, I multiplied, now I'm going to subtract. All right, so when I subtract, 24 minus 28 is negative 4p. Bring down my minus 20. Okay, and now I repeat. So I'm going to divide. Negative 4p divided by p is negative 4. Okay, divided, so now I multiply. Negative 4 times p is negative 4p. Negative 4 times 7 is minus 28. Okay, so I multiplied. Now I subtract. Now because these are already minuses, when I subtract, it actually turns them into pluses. Okay, the first two cancel. Negative 20 plus 28 is 8. Okay, so now we have a bit of an issue. We're going to go to repeat, but p doesn't go into 8 because I don't have a variable. I don't have a p here. So this is what we do. We take our remainder. That's what this 8 is. It's a remainder. And what we do is we just tack it on at the end as a fraction, 8 over our denominator, p plus 7. So the answer to this problem ends up being p squared plus 4p minus 4 plus 8 over p plus 7. And that's how you do long division for polynomial division. Okay, it's kind of complicated. It's a long process, but it does work every time. Okay, let's talk synthetic division. Okay, synthetic division. My instructions here are actually more complicated than doing the problem. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is change the sign of the constant and move it outside of the box. Okay, the box being, we're going to draw this little box in when we go to do it. Then we're going to take the coefficients and put them inside the box. Then we bring the first term down to the bottom, and we multiply what's outside by that term and bring it up here. Then we combine our like terms. Okay, and then we just keep doing that over and over and over again until we get to the end. And then when we're done, we put some variables on there. And I'll show you how to do that in a second. The key thing about synthetic division is it only works if the leading coefficient of the denominator is 1. So if I had like x squared plus 2x plus 3 over x plus 4, okay, the leading coefficient down here is a 1, that works. If I had 2x squared plus 5x minus 9 divided by 2x plus 1, that doesn't work because this is a 2. Then I'd have to use long division. All right, so let's talk about synthetic. Let's do a synthetic example. All right, so I've got p cubed plus 11p squared. Same problem as we did before for our long division problem. Now we're going to do it synthetic. So we got this little box. We're always going to use this little box for synthetic division. So the first thing is we take this number, this 7, we change the sign and we put it outside of the box. Then we take our coefficients from our numerator, so 1, 11, 24, and negative 20, and we put them inside the box. All right. Now, the first term just comes down, so 1 just comes down to the bottom. Now, here's how the actual synthetic division process works. I take my outside number, 7, times this number at the bottom. So negative 7 times 1 is negative 7. And I put it under the next term. Now, I add these two things. So 11 plus negative 7 is 4. Then I multiply again. Negative 7 times 4, negative 28. Once again, I add. 24 plus negative 28, negative 4. Now I multiply again. Negative 7 times negative 4 is positive 28. And I add them again. Negative 20 plus 28 is 8. And I'm done. Now what I want to do is I'm going to put my variables on. And how this works is I start here at my first number, and I'm going to start with 1 less than I started with. So if this is p cubed, then this will start with p squared. Then my next term gets p. My next term doesn't get anything because I went p squared, p, then this is a constant, and then my last term will always be over my denominator, p plus 7. So my answer is the same as the way we did this problem for long division. It's p squared plus 4p minus 4 minus 8 over p plus 7. So synthetic division is a little bit longer, or synthetic division is actually a little bit easier, okay? But you can only do it if this first term has a coefficient of 1. All right, so let's talk some pros and cons. Okay, so let's talk long division. Pros of long division. The main pro of long division is it works for every problem. The main con of long division is it is complicated. Okay, it takes longer to do. For synthetic division, the pro is it's easier. The con is it only works if the leading coefficient is 1. So you kind of have to decide for yourself which one you're going to use. You can use long division every time, or if the leading coefficient is 1, then you can use synthetic division and it'll be easier. Okay, so those are the two methods you can use to solve polynomial division problems.